The following poem, Please Call Back Later, Lord, There's Always a Better Time, Isn't There?, is by Mcdonald. This is a very special poem to me, and that's why I'm going to put it on YouTube. A part of me sensitive to destiny has often heard Christ's call to follow, to see reality from a new perspective, to live generously and mercifully, to do special, costly things which center on the unique and unusual. But to hear is one thing, to respond correctly is another. As a teen, I first heard the call. I was relieved to find that its impact could be neutralized by reminding my soul that there was time again enough later to follow after I'd been licensed to drive, permitted to date, and reached the status of a social heavyweight. In later years, Christ beckoned again. This time I waved him off, saying that I would need more time to mature, to explore alternative worldviews, to discover my identity. Perhaps after these adventuresome years, when I've really grown up, I said, when life becomes more serious business, I will have time for religious responsibilities. During my college days, I heard Christ's call again. He asked me, as usual, to go and live, do and give, but I was armed with a counter proposition, that he back off until another day, perhaps when I was married and settled down. Then it would be easier, I reasoned, to be Christ's disciple, when I have a mate who is prepared to pursue the spiritual side of things. But after college there came graduate school and career planning and job searching. There were business trips and cross-country transfers and getaways, and sometime amid the busyness of all that, Christ once again intruded, whispering to my destiny the same old call. With sincerity, I asked him for one more exemption in this decision-making process. Singles, I pointed out, need space. They value freedom and independence and security, and they prefer not to be tied down with long-term responsibility or to someone who tells them what to do. At this point in my life, opinions are a thing to be kept open on a moment-to-moment basis. Well, I think Christ mumbled something about understanding my thinking, but I'm really not positive. Christ is tenacious about those calls of his, and that's why I was somewhat irritated when, after I'd walked an aisle, taken some vows, enjoyed a honeymoon, I heard his voice again. There will be time after, I insisted with reverential firmness, when my spouse and I have had the opportunity to really know each other, and to have some kids, and invest in a house, and visit Europe, and open a Charles Schwab investment account. Then, Lord, I said, you'll be seeing a lot of us. We will have to offer some spiritual life to our children. They ought to grow up in a church, but until they're of age, I'll keep my schedule free and my money in ample quantity. Kids did come, as they usually do, and they did cost. Now, when I say cost, I'm talking about money, especially that. Time. Kids are so demanding, and energy. I'm pooped at the end of every day. I said, when I next encountered the calling of Christ, Lord, please wait a little longer for me until we get those kids through college, until I can cut down on my work hours, until I get over this problem with my weight, this frustration in my marriage, and this move we want to make to Arizona. Perhaps after those hassles and the tuition bills subside, we'll have plenty of occasions, cash, and perhaps a little else to do, some energy that you probably badly need. At 58 or 62, whatever, I've now stopped counting. Christ came to see once more. I must admit that his call was impressive, but what he did not take into account was that I needed rest, not responsibility, needed freedom, escape from the rigors of the years. Lord, I said, we've done our part. Let the young folks take over now. It's time for us to protect ourselves. Retirement, you see, is just a few years away, and we need to be sure that we're financially secure. Read the journal. It's a rough time, a turbulent economy. It's only an opinion, But it sure seems to me that Christ could headhunt for his disciples among the teenagers, the college students, the singles, and those fresh, energetic young couples whose kids are just in diapers. And anyway, they're the ones who profit from all this spirited effort. We've paid our dues. And then, just the other day, when I turned 78, I began to meditate on why my soul had always seemed so empty. Why was I drowning in such disappointment, and why did I feel as if I had no legacy? And then there was Christ. Why hadn't he used me when I was younger? And why was there no excitement over the possibility that one day I might stand in his presence and hear his evaluation of how I'd spent my years, my money, and my affection? Well, today I no longer drive, and my eyes won't pass the driving test, and now I tend to forget a lot of what I learned in college. Our busy kids, well, they're long gone and married, and they live 2,000 miles away and very rarely visit. I have plenty of time now, should anyone need me, but I'm so alone, and there's little to do. No one seems to ask about anything. Who I am, how I feel, where I see things going, and why I think as I do, what I could contribute to. No one asks, and no one calls. Not even Christ.